Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of RLG Tier List Land, and today we're going to be ranking your favorite game consoles. I will not acknowledge Putty, who's making stupid faces. JD's here too. Check out his channel. Just don't check out Putty's channel. And we're going to jump right into Tier List Land. JD will be our tier list maker for today.
Boom.
All
right.
right.
Oh, I like these things. These things are things I like.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're ranking all our game consoles and whatever. We're hopping into Tier List Land.
Hopping in. So let's start. Let us go with the Xbox One. No, this is the Xbox Series S.
Has
Is this
never
the Series
gotten...
S or is this the Xbox?
It's the new Xbox.
No, this may look like the One S.
Okay, but I don't think there's another one. So this is the new Xbox.
Yes, there is. The new Xbox.
Oh, it's over there. Yeah, it's over there. I see it. I don't know. I don't care. This is obsolete.
Yeah, I don't like digital disc systems.
Yeah, so I think that's fair.
Dreamcast.
Oh, well, you know what? We should hold on. We should go over the tiers before Putty just yells things out. So S will be God mode. A will be AAA. B will be memorable. C is a gift from grandma. So that's technically a system that's like good. You like it, but like you weren't expecting to get that. D is obsolete. It's something that in its entire generation when it came out, it didn't even match the other things that came out. So it's like odd that it exists. And then Red Ring of Death is obviously the worst things ever.
Yes. So obsolete. We already had the Xbox One. We didn't need the Xbox.
We will be placing all of them. So even if only one person has played them, we will allow a placement. Unless it's only Putty who's played them, then we won't.
Then we won't allow it.
Wow.
Sega Dreamcast.
Listen, I'm gonna just say this. I love the Sega Dreamcast. It was for me. It felt like it was ahead of its time. It's just the problem was they did not properly promote this console.
They were also suffering from Saturn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was probably, in my eyes, the second best Sega console ever made. Like it might even be the best Sega console ever. Honestly,
it is.
Compared to what other one I really love, of course, but that's because I was
the one I love is not even on the list.
Good.
Oh, MS. I know what you're talking about. Anyway,
yeah, the Sega Master System is not here.
Yep. Multiple sclerosis.
But and again, Dreamcast. Let's put it this way: for everyone that plays with an Xbox controller, thanks Sega for that, because that's exactly where that Xbox controller from. Memory cards, thank them for that. That's the same thing. Portable gaming on your memory card. Again, these are things that are ahead of the time.
Gaming, Putty, come on.
Putty, come on. Plumbers don't wear ties.
Sorry.
For those who get that reference, make a comment.
That was good. That was amazing. This is an A.
Yeah. It didn't get enough love.
It's one of the most underrated systems of all time. It's far better than anyone gave it credit for. It's not a all-time best system ever made, though. That's
no.
But I will say, it's not. It's so underappreciated. I think nowadays it's not really. I think there's enough word about it that people really like it.
There is a nostalgia factor to it now.
And it was like pumping out way better graphics than the stuff around it for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, nostalgia factor. Where the hell were y'all when this console needed to be sold, man? I bought it when it first came out, played it more than any other console.
I couldn't get it because it was expensive as hell.
Well, yeah,
mine's in there.
But
his is in there.
So anyway, I'm jealous you have one still. I don't have mine no more.
I believe this next one is the PSP, the original PSP.
I mean, I think it's a good gift from grandma. In my eyes.
I think it's a gift from grandma.
Yeah, I can agree to that. This is a gift.
There's some decent games on it, but like as a system on its own, it underperformed.
Yeah, I agree. This I believe is the Xbox One, but this is the Xbox One, the One
Scorpio
X,
or whatever.
The Scorpio. Yeah.
I want to say it's God mode, but I can't. Because yes, it's so ridiculously powerful, but like at the point when it came out, who cared about these consoles anymore?
Yeah.
This was at the end of its life. What was the point of this?
It laid the groundwork for the Series X.
I think it's memorable.
Okay, I could agree to that.
Because I think it did have like ridiculous power, but I also think for what reason?
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility. This just had great power and no responsibility.
And no responsibilities. It was the guy living on your couch for a while.
Yeah, that's Putty.
Okay. With that, we have the Game Boy Advance SP, which was the collapsible clamshell design. I really like this one. This one was one of my
I
favorite
also really
Game
like
Boys.
this one.
I think this belongs in a AAA.
I think this belongs in a AAA.
I mean, it's okay. I mean,
Okay,
the thing
then.
is
Now the
Okay,
question
hold on.
is,
Wait, no, hold on.
I
It's
don't
This is
not-
like
the
it. I
question.
don't
It's
like
not
it
better than a
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
no, so we'll leave it where it is.
But Putty, do you have a point to argue this that's so awfully bad that it's going to leave AAA?
Well, no. Here's the thing. Game Boy Advance SP was really good. The problem was it was also the transition from Game Boy Color to DS, and so for me it drops a little more because of that. Because Game Boy Color was really the real time we got first color to our Game Boys, and then SP was like, ooh, we added the extra buttons that were already there on the color. So,
But this one also had the backlight, so you can play in the dark.
No, I'm actually confusing. I'm thinking the Game Boy Color. Okay, which one was it? There was Game Boy Color, and then there was the Game Boy, because it's coming later.
There's
later
Game
down
Boy
the road.
Color, and then there was the Game Boy Advance.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay,
And this is the Game
Advance.
Boy Advance SP.
Okay, so that's where I'm going. This was an offshoot of the Advance, and that's the reason why I feel like, I don't know. My eyes.
I think this was better than the Advance.
This is better than the Advance.
It was
Of
more
course it is.
portable. It had a backlight. You were able to play in the dark.
This might be the time frame that I switched over from handheld gaming a lot then, because I was going again. I still felt like the Game Boy Advance was better than this, honestly, but it's not saying it's a bad console, but I feel like there's a lot. Oh wow! Okay.
Wow.
No, I'm arguing the point. Like, yes, okay, the Game Boy Advance had more of a Sega Game Gear type of feel to it. It was very much the predecessor to the Switch, very much the predecessor to the Wii U tablet. But the SP could fit in your pocket. You could
I agree
fold it
with you.
up, and it like I said, the selling point, they improved on something that was good.
But you have to understand one thing. When you're looking comparatively, like we're planning on doing, there's a lot of handholds that are way better in my eyes than that.
So
Yeah,
you're saying that this is
At
better
its
than
time,
this.
No, drop it down.
I think they are.
No,
We didn't
but-
make it there yet.
No, but
Well,
what
no,
I'm
yeah.
saying is you're telling me this is better than this?
Huh?
You're telling me this is
It's
better
the
than
same
this?
console, but one fits perfectly in your pocket and the other one doesn't.
Yes. But see, that's the thing.
I don't understand the argument. If you think the Advance is good, then you have to think the Advance SP is good because it's the exact same console but smaller.
Yes, I agree with you on that. But also, we have not still gotten to the original Game Boy. We haven't gotten to DS. That's why I'm saying it's such a high number for that. I feel like other things are going to trump it. That it maybe be a memorable.
Listen, you can play your
but-
trumpet when we get there.
Like, for example, let's do it right now.
Putty in a
Okay,
skin flute.
put the SP in memorable. Put it at the top of memorable, and we'll
argue it later.
Okay.
Okay, so DS. Now I feel like this is a AAA.
Yes, this is
You
a
see-
AAA behind the SP,
Mhm.
or this is just slightly
Wait, behind the SP?
No, slightly ahead of it. It's slightly ahead of it.
So we're putting it there. AAA,
Yeah,
you
and
said?
now also take the SP and move it up to AAA as well. There,
Just like that.
congratulations.
But we still have more handhelds. They're gonna.
It doesn't
like,
matter
but-
if it's. You're telling me I can only have one Sega console in AAA.
Well, no. I'm not even saying that. What I'm trying to
just said
say is,
that.
no. What I'm saying is, I'm not just talking about that. We have more handhelds. You guys are like picking out these handhelds like there's only 3 or 4 of them. When we have like probably like
the
15 here.
SP is the best Nintendo handheld until the Switch.
No, the Advance is better than the SP.
Oh, see, no, see, you're telling me that that Advance is. You would rather sit there and play Advance than a DS.
I don't know why
or
you're arguing
a
things
V-
we haven't even pulled out yet.
Well, no, but that's my point, though. You're putting it pretty high.
Basically,
When
you're
other things
getting
are higher.
this with an added extra screen because you can play these games on this console. So that's why this is there.
Advance should be ahead of SP.
But see, if that's the way you're looking at it, then that
That
should be
is the
same
SP.
way with
You're talking about SP. You're talking about DS
Yeah.
ahead of.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But
sorry,
if you're
I keep
if you're
saying
looking,
Advance.
yeah, let's say. So if you're looking at it that way, then that's. But now, okay, never mind. That's fine. I was arguing down again. We'll get to it later.
Okay, we're gonna get to
explain why.
it, and it's gonna
Yeah.
continue.
Okay, this is going in God mode.
Yes, this
Thank
is
God.
God.
Fuck, I was so scared.
That's not. It's not negotiable. It's the
Oh.
ability just
Fuck.
on this one thing. Okay, the smoothness and the ability to play music at such a high rate
Mm-hmm.
compared to the absolutely bogged down music that we even got later in the 64-bit and 32-bit consoles.
Oh, just made the image better.
Okay.
Wow.
Next system.
For that one.
He's probably putting on his bald cap.
He's putting on a bald cap.
Yeah. He's going to try to look like Robotnik.
Oh,
Spoiler,
you know,
guys.
He's going to take his shirt off.
No, I'm not looking like Robotnik, bitches.
Show them your nips, buddy.
No, I just got to represent. All right, let's do this. Let's continue.
You literally have to turn off your camera to change hats.
I don't want to see he's not
exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay, but yes, I agree.
This is at the top of God mode. We're not. I'm not allowing any arguments.
Yeah, this has to be up there.
Is the highest of God mode.
I would even put this in God mode.
That's what I just said.
The PS2.
Yeah.
The top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the best-selling console I think of all time. It's still selling to this day.
It has probably the best game library of any console of all time.
The biggest game library.
The best game library.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
This little piece of shit that's coming up next.
Wait, what's that?
That's the PS2 Slim.
Oh, God, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good spot for it.
Yeah. The OG Xbox.
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I know I'm going to get a lot of controversy over this.
You go first.
I either want this high AAA or God mode.
This is above Dreamcast for me.
Yes.
See, here's the thing. I don't want to. I'm going to say it this way. I actually don't want it in front of Dreamcast, but I'm willing to say okay on that for one reason. The option with the music was such a groundbreaking thing. I was
just going to say that changed.
It was basically a PC.
I could put music on any game.
Oh, no. I understand. You guys being wrestling fans, you're telling me that you weren't using your soundtrack from your Xbox in your entrance music.
Yeah, of course I was.
I was using my music from my Xbox as my entrance music in baseball.
But I want to put this. I was
using Cult of Personality and my Creator Wrestler before CM Punk.
But here's the thing. I want to say this right now. The only thing I want to put out to people is Xbox is a copycat, though, or at least I take liberties and ask Sega. I don't know, because Sega, they did put a lot of Sega games on there, but that controller looks a lot like a Dreamcast controller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just putting out there, it pretty much is an Xbox controller without a hole in the middle for a screen. So,
well, next time people buy your Dreamcasts and the system will have Sega still. Okay,
right. So we are going to the Wii.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say.
You tell us. This was a fad.
This was one of those things where it was very popular. It was really good for its time, and I feel like it's memorable. Honestly,
I think it still holds up. I think software-wise, I can't put it higher.
No, it was just way too much shovelware.
Yep.
It's ahead of that Xbox.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay,
this is definitely an obsolete system.
I would even put it here.
No, I actually like the Wii U.
I don't think it's Red Ring of Death. I just think it came out. It came out at a time and it dropped the same console. Mm-hmm. Yes, you gave us a new piece of hardware, but it was the same console.
See, I mean, it'd be reasonable to say, I would say it's a gift from grandma, because I feel like it's one of those things where if you got it, you're like, oh, this is actually a good console.
Okay.
But people didn't buy it.
So do you want it lower? I like it there. Putty wants it higher, so I'll move it up one spot. That's as far as it's
How about we put it at the front of obsolete?
Okay, fine.
Are we good with that?
I'm good with that, yeah.
So here we have the PS4.
Wait.
I want to. This is odd. I really want to call this a gift from grandma, but it's probably like I don't know. I didn't like the PS4.
See, I did. I would say memorable, high memorable, low AAA.
I would kind of put it in between here.
Okay. I think that's fine. You kind of meet me and Putty in the middle by doing that.
Now, Nintendo Switch. To me, I think I'm the only one that plays the Switch.
I have played a Switch.
Okay.
I played a Switch too.
I think just based on the games that it has to be AAA.
Yeah.
They have some of the highest rated games of all time.
That and the fact that you can literally pick it up from your TV, going from playing on TV to playing it on the go.
Okay, here's the thing. That whole situation, I get why that's such a nice thing, but again, that's also called, we have that in life called a mobile phone. But
Oh yeah, your mobile phone can play Zelda.
Well, no, of course
Can
not.
your
That's
mobile
just based
phone
on
play
console.
You
Doom?
don't, so
But
that's not the same.
That's not based off the console. That's based off the games. Let's put
That's
that out
hardware,
there.
but the hardware for this console makes this console good.
Either way, I know it's a good console. I just don't want it to go ahead of Dreamcast. That's all I feel. That's how I feel.
So is that what this whole episode is going to be? You just arguing things down for being ahead of Dreamcast? Put this in God mode.
Wow,
I'm good
really?
with that.
No, it's not in God mode.
I would put it at the top of AAA.
I wouldn't. I think I would say this is the bottom of AAA, and for me.
Okay, so let's meet in the middle.
All right, I'll live with it.
This way, Putty's happy too that it's not above the Dreamcast.
I don't like it even ahead of those handhelds.
Series X.
I haven't played it enough to judge it.
Same.
For me, I'm the only one that I own one. I love it. What I like about the Series X, there's multiple things which also Xbox did, is through Game Pass, you can cross-save progression. So if you're playing Starfield on your PC and then you go walk away from your PC and you want to go in the living room and play it on your Xbox, you can do that.
Wow. That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, so if you're playing
also, Game Pass is insane.
Yeah. And the amount of graphical output this thing puts out, like, I wouldn't put it in God mode, but I'd put it high AAA.
I mean, I can't argue with you because I absolutely know how powerful this thing is. I've played it and it's like crazy good. And it's fast. It's so much faster than a PS5. I don't understand the argument that people have that PS5 is faster. It's not.
My loading screens are instant.
Yeah, it's literally
like I was
right
literally playing the other day. I just started playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. And once again, through Ubisoft, which you can start on your PC, continue on your Xbox.
I think just on raw technology, I can't argue that.
Yeah.
It might not be where I want it personally, but like the technology that it has is like on another level.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not there to put it in God mode, but it's pretty damn close to PC specs on a home console.
You know what? We should put Dreamcast in Red Ring of Death.
Gift from grandma.
Putty's like, oh, I hate you.
No, I'm just here's the thing. I get the power and everything, but like we have to understand if we were to go.
What are we understanding?
Hold on.
Don't make this about Dreamcast.
I'm not making it about Dreamcast. I'm trying to get us to understand for where everything is. For example, I agree with the original Xbox being there because it did something so big when it came to its console for its time. We're at a point now when it comes to consoles where everything is just basically a PC now. You know what I mean? It's just what do they want to put in at that point? You know what I mean? There's nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah,
for
but
example,
like I mean,
okay, hold on.
I don't want to argue this point because then I'm going to sound like an Xbox
No,
loyalist.
but I want to argue this point too, Putty. So I'll do it because I don't even have an Xbox.
I'm going to use a prime example. Switch.
Okay, what makes the Switch? What makes the Switch the reason that we said it belongs in AAA?
Switch has so many reasons for it. First off, the compatibility of letting you play with your friends. It's bringing what you got with the Wii, with the DS, with with all those. It's giving you basically a portable gaming device that has motion capabilities, that has like JD said,
it's the Wii and the Game Boy all in one.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Okay. So let's look at the Xbox. When Xbox came out.
No, hold on. Finish what I was saying. That what makes the Switch belong in AAA?
I just said it.
Okay, and now there's 3 consoles out right now in the console war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Switch, Xbox, and the PlayStation 5.
Right.
The Xbox is by far
far
and away the most powerful system that's ever existed in the history of consoles.
But if
it's the equivalent to a 20. It's the equivalent to a 2080.
But you guys also put out the whole thing about the games and everything. Look at what games Switch has compared to what Xbox has as far as caliber.
And that's fair,
games.
but look at the hardware capabilities of it.
But if we were to think about hardware, then every single big hardware game should be going on the top.
Okay, so but then if we're gonna go by that, let's.
Okay, but
Xbox. I'm not lowering it.
The Series X also now it's official that they own Activision Blizzard.
Okay, and that's great. But listen, I'm not going to lower the Dreamcast. Okay? But listen to my point here. The game library is shit.
I agree. Because I wasn't basing I was
Okay,
not
but
basing on the game library.
it's
This
a
is about
full
consoles.
package, right? So if we're basing it just on hardware, then for your thought process here, then why wouldn't the Xbox also be here based
But
on
that's
hardware?
my point, though. You guys already put that out there before. So you guys were putting everything out there. Games, every single type of game that's on their game library counts for it. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
that,
continue the argument here. So we're
Okay,
taking away all the games, no hardware. The Switch
All right,
is
so if
there
we're-
because it's the first system you can disconnect from your TV
Okay,
and
okay.
walk away with it.
so tell me, what with that Xbox, could you get everything that you get on there on your PC?
Yes.
Then why even have it?
So
You
why
see what I'm saying?
but why have anything up there? If my
Well,
phone
no,
is as good
but-
as any of those Game Boys, why are
But
any
that's
Game Boys on
but
this
that's
list?
what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand the thing.
Yeah, but
We're
you're
at a
also
time-
contradicting your own point.
No, I'm not.
Now, like,
contradicting.
look, okay, Putty, for
I'm trying
example,
to-
take it from me. I'm married,
Okay.
Great.
okay? I'm
Right.
married, okay?
Mhm.
If my wife wants to watch the TV that my Xbox console is attached to, and I want to continue my game, I can literally turn off the Xbox, go upstairs to my PC, and continue playing.
I get that's cool. That's very awesome. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is using that one thing as a way to raise it
But
means
it's
that, for
not.
example, but hold on a second, just listen what I'm saying. You got to think about you got to think about those generations and what really made these consoles like peak and pop and everything. Okay. Right now we're at a stagnant where PlayStation and Xbox are basically like, who's better? And it's more based on their games than their actual thing. There's nothing that makes me pop up about my PS5 that goes, ooh, this does this. There's nothing on the Xbox outside of that one little thing you're saying that makes things. But then when we go back
Game
and look at all the
Pass.
other generations, but Game Pass
Okay,
is something you can get on the
stop
PC.
arguing with him. Let him finish what he's saying.
The Game Pass is something you can get on PC. I'm trying to think of this console itself by itself without having a PC. You don't have a
Okay,
computer
so then
now.
why is the
That's fine.
Dreamcast in AAA?
Because the reason the Dreamcast in AAA is because at that time it did stuff like, for example, it had the memory card, it had the view screen thing where you can actually pull it out and actually play a mini game with your phone with your console. It was one of the first ones to actually have.
But that's
internet on
hardware.
it.
But that's hardware.
But that's my point. The whole thing. I'm adding that. Plus, we had great games.
But
like
you just told
Marvel's
me we
Captain-
weren't adding that.
Okay, so then if you guys added that before, that's what I'm trying to tell
So
you guys.
memory cards. PlayStation had memory cards before Sega Dreamcast existed.
Well, I know that, but you couldn't. But oh god,
You could take
my
them and
point
bring them
of it is-
anywhere.
is you guys have only brought one point to this Xbox as power, which all these other games, like for example,
But that's not. That's
then-
already the second point you're arguing now. It's power and the fact that I
This
can.
is the thing. The reason that it feels like you're being ganged up on is because you are, because everything you're saying is the same thing you're saying for the Dreamcast, but not for the other ones.
But what I'm saying is this
The Xbox
console
Series
is
X has a
basically
memory card,
PC.
1 terabyte.
You cannot use that memory card on your PC to play a game and then move it from your
No,
cartridge
because
to
they
the
have
thing.
cloud storage.
No, oh my god. I'm talking. You got to think generational. And right now, yeah, Dreamcast.
Okay,
is a
but
piece of shit
generational. The
console.
Dreamcast was the worst console of that generation in terms of sales. How about that?
Okay, if we were talking about stuff, but we're talking about we're doing overall, right? We're doing overall for everything, games, everything. Is that what we're doing for each console?
Everything.
Are we doing overall?
Let's
Okay.
do everything.
So you're telling me right now that Xbox has revolutionized and done so many big things like the Wii U
Okay.
and all that and everything.
So,
Wii
U
so
was
take,
crap.
but
Wii.
hold on, everyone stop.
Sorry,
Take
Wii,
what
sorry,
you
Wii.
just said and then now reapply it to the Dreamcast. It did nothing that changed the game for anyone
No, but it's at
because
least was
nobody
doing
bought
stuff.
it.
Right, because they're okay. Again, if that's based on their promotions.
Listen,
okay?
you have to understand, I'm not arguing this point because I'm dropping the Dreamcast. That is staying where it is. But my point is that I'm making is the
I
same
guarantee-
reasons we're
I
saying this
guarantee-
is the same reasons you're
I
taking
even
away.
guarantee your brother's going
Okay.
to understand what's saying this because you have to understand.
No, my
You
brother
guys love
won't
that.
because my brother will just keep telling you PlayStation's better.
Well, no, I get that. I understand that too. My whole point is, I love Xbox. I like that original Xbox.
Okay, drop
new Xbox,
drop this
there's
Xbox
nothing-
One. Drop the Xbox One to wherever Putty says it goes, but
No,
we're
no,
making
no.
the same argument for every single console that comes up next.
No, I'm going to leave it there, but I'm just going to say this right now. Putting that so high on there, based on everything we have, is just a weird factor when you look at it as just being a PC. That's
Okay,
pretty
but
much what it is.
Listen, we allowed him to place it.
Okay. Now
we didn't really play
Sorry,
it.
let me argue this point. You're arguing that it's a PC. So that means the fact that Xbox has revolutionized the console gaming industry to bring the console to a PC level.
But why even buy that when you can just get a PC?
Okay,
around
where
the
do
same
you want me to
price?
put it, Putty?
Because a gaming PC of that caliber will cost 3 times as much.
Okay,
I get it.
unbiasedly, don't try to make him feel good. Where do you want to put the console, Putty?
No,
just tell us the answer.
I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
I want
tell us.
because you should have an opinion.
Okay,
I didn't say anything yet. I didn't even say where to put
feel like
it.
it's a memorable. I feel
Okay,
like it's
where
memorable.
in memorable? Tell me where.
I would say right behind Wii.
No, I won't give you that.
That's just how I'm feeling. I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad console because Wii's not a bad console.
But you're also
Wii's
the
an
only
amazing console.
person. You're also the only person who's never played this console.
No, I agree with that. But here's my. Okay, never mind. My whole thing is with this. When we're talking about consoles, we all have lived through these generations. We always talk about the consoles that got us excited and everything. All right. There's nothing really like this console outside of Game Pass itself, which we can get on our PC. It's not what sells the console. Game Pass sells
Okay, hold on.
But not everyone can afford a PC.
Right, I understand that. But see, the thing is we're trying to think of like as consoles as a whole about how, like, for example, when we're talking about the games, the quality of their games, think about Xbox games compared to Nintendo games and even some PlayStation games. They don't hold up. So like, there's a lot of things that make. I'm going
to give you this since I never said anything yet about where it should be placed.
Okay.
I think it should be behind the Switch, and I think that because the Switch did something that is pushing the limits of it, the original Xbox is more iconic, and I just think the Sega Dreamcast for its time was something special.
Okay, so if I can we meet in the middle here?
I can live with that. But I also think, and the reasoning, right, because Putty keeps saying generational for what it did in its generation. It's the most powerful console of its generation. So,
I agree with that.
So, but 5 generations from now, you're going to look back and be like, wow, I can't believe how powerful that Xbox was.
Okay,
but it's only because you're living in that time now. You're not thinking about it.
Okay, but since, do we have a Neo Geo down here?
No.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Neo Geo was around the same time as Sega and as Super Nintendo. So you would tell me because it's more powerful, it deserves to be up there with God Mode?
But a Neo Geo is just an emulator for an arcade.
But still, it's more
Neo
powerful.
Geo was also 10 times the price.
But
well, no, I get that.
The games were like 300.
Neo Geo was really good. My friend had a Neo Geo. The amount of the graphic quality that it put out was leagues ahead of anything else.
Well, see, the thing is, that's why I loved about the Neo Geo and everything. But the
if
thing
it was
is,
here, I would put it high. The same way that the Sega Genesis is fucking
I wouldn't
mode.
I wouldn't because there's the one thing. It didn't have many games. It didn't have many because its collection of games are just slim to none. You know what I mean?
I mean, you had a lot of the SNK catalog, which is pretty good.
You had Metal Slug. You had King of the Fighters. You had
and I agree. But that's my point, though. Again, same situation when we're going on price and everything. A lot of that happens in generational games, but it's like that means consoles end up dying that were actually really good consoles, but they just.
You know what I noticed? The TurboGrafx is not here either.
Yeah, there's no Jaguar either. So let's just, I believe it's only the mainline consoles.
Yeah,
there's nothing. Actually, there is a Jaguar, I think, or that's a Sega Saturn. Anyways, doesn't matter. We can do another tier list for another day of obscure consoles. This is an Atari. I believe that's a 2600. I don't know.
It's a memorable. I kind of put it.
If any Atari gets high for me, it would be the 7200.
That was literally the worst one.
Or not? Was it 6? Which one was the one with the wood grain?
The next one.
The next one. Okay. That's not the wood grain
that
one.
Is that one.
That is this one. That's the 2600.
There's the wood grain one, then there was the black plastic one, and then there was another one. I don't remember.
There was the 2600, which had the wood grain, the 5200, which was all black, and then the 7600, which had the silver streak across the top.
I think that's a 5200.
Was that?
I don't think they meant to pick that, but I'm looking at it and it's all black.
No, this one is the 20. No, I could tell it's the 2600 because of the controller and the slot.
Yeah, maybe they just took a picture of that modern version of it. The remake that they made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, but anyways, Atari, yeah, Atari.
Okay, this is kind of fitting.
Okay, so here's the thing. This one, I would put. I feel like Xbox 360. Okay, so here's why I love Xbox 360, and I'll tell you where I'm put it. But I'm first to why.
Okay, tell me.
Xbox 360. First time to have party chat when it comes to online gaming, like really actual party chat. It knew how to work online gaming better than PS3 at that generation. It was the top of the line. The only thing that made this bad was what we have it at, was its Red Ring of Death. That's the one thing that makes it drop. I think it's God mode or high AAA.
I think
But
it's
then
God
where would
mode.
you put the reboot that improved on that?
See,
I think that goes in memorable because it's or obsolete because it's just the same thing.
See, that's what I have a
But
problem
better,
with him. That's
because
that's
this did
why-
not have the red ring.
That's why I don't like to have those consoles in there. I don't like how they're
But
putting
I
those
think
other ones in there.
you got that's why I think the obsolete category was good, because I think this is the console that set the tone. The one
Okay.
that fixed the problem is just the same console without any of the small issues that it had, right? It's not a really technically a better console.
I agree.
But see, I didn't get Red Ring of Death, so I actually had a
I didn't
great
get Red
console,
Ring
you
of
know?
Death either.
Yeah, so I actually got the benefit of having the good
I
one.
got it 3
And then-
times.
Yeah, my
And then
friend
that-
got it 3 times too.
And then detaching, and you had a detachable hard drive on the top, like, oh, that was amazing.
Which actually I
Those-
had 2 hard drives. I used to switch them in and out with
what?
with
That's
the
so
games.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because I actually
So-
had a lot of downloaded games. I
Like,
still have
honestly, this is
Scott
my-
Pilgrim on my system, and that's worth a lot of money.
See that right there, that console right there, it, just in my eyes is like that was the Xbox's prime.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and
I
but-
agree,
Okay.
and that's why I think it's there.
I'm happy there.
It's not ahead of Sega Genesis though.
No.
I agree with that.
Okay. The OG Game Boy.
I think
It's
for
memorable.
purposes though, I think it kind of has to be AAA. I don't want to put it there, but I think for what it did, it kind of like changed everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm not gonna pick on this for one reason. This one, I carried this sucker everywhere. My mom bought me 2 of these because I wore out my other one. The back of it got lost, tape all over it. Like it was one of those things. Like I felt like a king when I carried my Game Boy because not every kid could get the Game Boy. So when you had one, you were like, oh my god! And then
see,
you had
I
a friend-
think you're looking at now I see it here, Putty. You're looking at these consoles through rose-colored nostalgia glasses.
But that's
But
what
I
I'm trying to
agree
get
with
you to understand.
Putty. It's I
But
think
that's
this
what,
is
but that's
a
why,
AAA.
but that's why I'm
Yeah.
that's why I'm not picking.
I
it,
would say
because the
too,
reason-
because it revolutionized the gaming industry, but
But
I'm
I'm
putting it
also-
at the bottom.
I would put
But
it at
here's
the
what I'm
bottom
gonna
as
say.
well.
But here's what I'm gonna say though. But unfortunately, like for example, when Game Gear came out, I was like, I like that better than my Game Boy at that point because it had the color, it had my favorite characters on it, it had stuff I loved, but it's more powerful. It drained batteries quickly, and it didn't last long when the batteries came in there. But it did something that the Game Boy couldn't do. So my point is, the reason I didn't want to place it is because I would want it high, but I think it's actually memorable.
I'm actually a day one owner of all of the
Same.
next 3 consoles.
So are you guys okay with that there?
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it
fine with
should
that.
be just for what it is.
It did. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we got the Game Boy
Yeah.
Color, which
This
improved.
is
Wait, is that color or pocket?
It's color.
It's
okay.
the color pocket. Yeah.
This is not as good of a system. The games on it were shit.
Yeah,
for me, it's gift from
because there
grandma
weren't
or
enough
memorable.
there weren't enough color games, and they just kind of
Yeah.
reshaded the OG Game Boy
Well,
games.
if you listen to the story about this, it was created out of a forceful push by Nintendo of America to fill the gap of the Christmas season before they released the SP or Advanced, whatever was next. It's not even really made by Nintendo. They outsourced a company to just hurry up and make this.
Yeah, I'm actually putting it here. What do you guys say?
upset. I'm not upset.
I still like the Wii U better, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
put the Wii ahead of. Oh, do you like the what better? The Wii U? Put it
I like
ahead of
the Wii
behind the
better.
Wii U. I don't care.
Okay,
Okay,
whatever.
sweet.
Game Gear.
I had it
I
day
freaking
one.
love it.
Big
I-
Sega guy when I was a kid. It's a very unpractical system. It didn't really
It
push the
was
boundaries of anything
huge.
except that it had color.
And it was big and color.
Yeah.
This
It-
I
this
would
The
is
points I
got
got to take away from
This
is
is at
it
the
was
top
huge,
of memorable for me.
and it would drain batteries like there was no. I spent more money in batteries than I spent on the console.
That's why.
I
That's why you
actually
have
had the
that.
charge. There was like a charging pack thing for it.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what I had too. Yeah,
But I mean, it is memorable for what it was. This was the first color gaming system, portable gaming system. And that the thing is, though, the screen, it was like a fraction, like it wasn't a full view of the playing field.
Yeah, that's weird too because it was square. It's 4x3 instead of like
It's 3x4 instead of 4x3.
There you go.
Game Boy Advance.
I love this console, but
I
mean,
think this
SP
has to be in AAA.
Let's put it this way. I love SP, but like I sunk more time into this console than this Game Boy is probably the one Game Boy I played more than anyone. Even
my thinking would be right here.
I'm actually gonna think that's perfect because
this
like
is the evolution.
The SP was just the better version of the Advanced, and then
it had the same games. You could play the same games. You could play everything.
And I think this is like, see, this is like where Putty was like, oh, what are you gonna do? Yes, we're gonna put them all there.
Well, see, but that's what you have to also understand is like I look at this and I get it, but it's like that and looking at it at that way, it's just like, well, then it would just be every new console would be God mode compared to
because not all the consoles are better than the last console.
We put the predecessor to this down here.
You look at all the other predecessors.
Well, no, I get that, but like I said, Game Boy Advance SP. My thing with that, and I don't know why that I don't like as much, is because the clamshell was not it didn't appeal to me as much as everyone else did.
Yes,
like,
but it being appealing and it being good is different. I don't like the way a Wii U looks. I don't like the way a Wii looks. I don't like the way Sega Genesis looks.
But I'm saying, but that's my whole point though. Because of being clamshell, what other appealing thing outside of I could already get
what's appealing about it is that I can fold it and put it in my pocket and it has all the power of the console before.
And the fact that I can play it in the dark now without having to attach that stupid little light.
Any game for the previous consoles works on this console.
So the games on these work on this.
Yeah, but wasn't the Game Gear backlit too? Is that we're gonna look at
yes,
that
but
way?
The Game Gear also was like a massive piece of doo-doo.
Well, no, I get
this.
that.
The SP has chargeable batteries.
I think you guys actually really loved SP.
It had a lithium-ion battery, which lasted a lot longer.
For you guys, I'm just saying. I feel like that was more of a personal level for you guys on that one, but that's okay.
No, this is literally a better console than this.
Well,
no, see, you're doing the opposite. The other one is personal for you. This one is not personal for me. This is a better console. I had both.
Like, why? What? Tell me, Putty, what makes this better than this when it's the exact same thing as
and
this?
If you tell me how it looks, fact
that you don't like the
from
shape.
Your childhood.
No, it wasn't a matter of shape. It's just like when I got my Game Boy Advance, I could have gotten an SP. I was like, why would I get that when I already have an Advance? When it's not giving me anything.
It's giving you a bigger screen. It's backlit. It plays all the same games. It fits in your pocket. It has a chargeable battery.
I was able to put the other one in my pocket. I don't understand why putting.
Okay, this had a rechargeable lithium-ion battery and lasted a lot longer than the AA batteries that went in here.
I completely understand that, but I
okay. If I put the Advanced ahead of the SP,
I'm not. No, I'm not. Like, listen, what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to change I don't want to change the order. I'm just trying to say that we can't be just looking at power when it comes to stuff. We got to look at all around, like what it does.
Okay, and
we are.
It has everything the last one has, but it's better.
Right, but then I'm looking at the list, and like you guys say, I'm contradicting, but that's still happening here with other stuff.
Show me something else.
Like,
show me something else.
Okay, so for example, let's see here. Okay, prime example, Wii U. All right,
it's not better than a Wii.
It is a Wii with a portable screen.
Yeah, it's a Wii with a portable screen. That's a touch screen. We didn't have.
It also had way less. It had a much lower quality of games that came out for it. And I'm not going to count it as being like, oh, you can play the same game on it like the SP because it's literally a Wii.
I'm not trying to make it go above the Wii. What I'm trying to say is, based on power, based on all the stuff.
No, it's the exact same power as a Wii. It did not improve. It did not improve on anything graphically. It was the exact same power.
If you want to move the Wii U, where do you think the Wii U goes?
No, I don't want to move it. I'm just trying to.
Then why are you arguing the point?
I'm trying to make the point is I don't feel like that you guys are looking at some of these not based on what was better for its generation to be better above everything else.
But the thing is, the Wii U is essentially the mid-generation refresh.
No, and I agree with you on that.
Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to say. If we're going to look at them and consider them consoles and then the next follow-up console, right? Every Game Boy is one console. Okay? And look how we have them ranked. Every model of it got better because every Game Boy got better.
Well, you got to think they changed it from Game Boy to DS. It literally lost.
But it's still a Game Boy.
Well, if we look at that, then every PlayStation is still a PlayStation.
Yes,
I mean,
it is still a PlayStation.
But
PlayStation are not PlayStation.
the PlayStation is not backwards compatible, whereas these were all backwards compatible.
And every one of those is
well, kind
better.
of.
Have you ever
remember,
played an
with
SP?
Because DS can only play Advance. Advance could play.
No,
SP
the DS
can
could play everything. The DS could play everything.
Yeah, and you could also in the DS you could put SD cards in it with games on them.
Am I thinking of 3DS? Which one?
You're thinking
the
3DS.
No.
That could not play.
There was one between the regular DS and the 3DS. There's a DS Lite that you could only play the Game Boy.
No.
Yeah, there is one. I don't know what it's called, but he's right. The 2DS maybe.
No, what he's
2DS.
So this one here, this 3DS, this SD, the SD Lite.
Because remember they went from.
He's right. He's absolutely right. This is the DS, the original DS, where you could play Game Boy games. This is the DS Lite that can only play DS games.
And for that reason, it will not be in the top.
That will be obsolete.
Okay.
It could play DS in Advance, right?
This piece of shit.
No, just DS. This one.
Well, that's what I'm referring to. Because that DS up there, what could that play? That could play
everything.
That played everything.
That could play.
And it can also have SD cards with modded games.
So it played DS, Advance, and regular Game Boy games.
Mm-hmm.
How did I never have that one? I'm surprised.
Ask my brother. That's his favorite handheld console. He had a SD cards with like 1,000 games.
That one I wouldn't argue. That one I would not argue. I never argued in the first place. I still feel it's.
I still don't understand how you think this is better than this.
I'm still not better. There was nothing big.
So to you, it's just your favorite.
No, hold on.
You got to separate your favorite from actual better console.
No, but he can have favorite. He can have favorite. I just think that he has two arguments to me that made no sense.
What I'm trying to say is those just seem like they're the same console, basically. You know what I mean?
Okay, so they're in the same place.
But see, the same thing. This is where I'm going to stop you guys. And I don't know why I'm being weird like this. That original Game Boy, I would feel it's actually between DS and Advanced SP, because it was the first handheld console to ever come out. It was. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's not based. If we're basing it on that,
this is not something that upsets me here. This is perfectly fine for me.
That's the only reason why I'm bringing this up.
Okay, now we've corrected it.
This was revolutionary, and I can understand that.
Yes.
But listen, that's perfectly fine. Now let's talk about this next console because I have to go to sleep at some point.
No, that can go to Red Ring of Death.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I heard it was stupid. I heard it was stupid as hell.
Okay, I'm good with that. Hey, there we go. PS Vita, I'm putting Gift from Grandma or obsolete.
Ahead of the other Gift from Grandma.
Okay. Yeah, I actually thought it was better than PSP. Everyone was like, "Oh, PSP was better." I'm like,
PS Vita was better than PSP.
Like, no one gave Vita a chance. Like, God, it was such a great console.
PS5. I mean, it's a hard one for me because I kind of feel like it has to be with that Xbox because it is it is a AAA system.
I'd say like that just because the Xbox is slightly more powerful. But then again, PlayStation has better exclusives, which you can get on PC anyway.
So put it ahead of it. I mean, for me, it's not.
Those are kind of tied with me. I agree.
Those are non-factors for me.
Yeah,
I feel like we're now at the point when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation, like each console generation, especially since PS4 and Xbox One, it's just like we're gonna get this.
See, but we're gonna hit a point here. But so, this one, PlayStation 1, just the PlayStation technically.
Okay, so this has got to go at least above AAA with Xbox. I agree. Below Xbox. I think below Xbox.
I would put it below
ahead of Dreamcast.
I would put it below Dreamcast, but I'll take that.
Okay.
GameCube. Oh, the hours I spent on the sucker.
See, this is the problem for me with this console is that it didn't
draw me
by what would you call it? We were talking about it by like the standards of its power. It doesn't push the limit at all.
It's very much like the Wii U.
We're gonna move backwards.
I was because the thing is, the only thing that I feel like really pushed this one would be Smash Brothers. This Smash Brothers was what made this console.
No, there's a lot of really good games on this.
Oh, yeah, I
Luigi's
agree
Mansion. Too. But I just think it didn't push the limit in terms of technology. It used like discs that were going obsolete at the time. Mini discs were people were stopped using them. I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad. It's definitely not bad. It's got to be. I don't want to put it in AAA though.
I think somewhere here.
It's not
I would
higher.
say top.
I would put it at the top. Yeah, I would put it at the
Okay.
top.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I do think it's a wickedly memorable system. I just think it didn't push the limit. It was a step in the wrong direction. Come on.
God
Really?
mode. Like, no, I say God mode. Here's the reason why I understand.
I'll allow it. I
understand PS2 because the thing is, you know me, I'm a Sega fanboy, but I mean, every one of us had that moment where we opened an NES and go, oh, it's
mine was
iconic.
already open, so
it's
I never had an NES until later.
Really?
Oh, the only reason why I bought an NES was because I had a Super Nintendo.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I was a Sega guy through and through.
Like,
I had the Mark I, I had the Sega Master System, then I had the Genesis, then I got the Super Nintendo and went back and bought the Nintendo.
See, I was so lucky. When they first released the NES, I don't know if a lot of people know this. You know how you get that cartridge that comes with both Duck Hunt and Mario on it? Well, originally when you got the console, you actually didn't get those on one disc. They were separate cartridges. You would get Duck Hunt and Mario, and then of course if you got Rob, you get the Rob cartridge, or if you got the Track and Field, you get that. I mean, again, I just love.
I had Track and Field with the Matt.
Yeah, right. My point to the thing is, and I know you guys agree with me on this, NES is what saved the video game market that allowed us to actually have this conversation.
Oh yeah, for that reason alone. We wouldn't have video games if it wasn't for the NES.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I can't argue against that.
Oh boy, this is gonna be the hard part. Okay, here we go.
This is an easy part. This is S tier, but it's behind Xbox 360.
Yep, I agree with that.
Oh, I thought I have so many people that fight me saying this is better than Genesis.
It's not It's not better technology wise than the Genesis. It just has way better games, and it's not the Genesis's fault.
But I mean, again, Genesis still had a lot of games to compete with it. That's the reason why we had the game console wars. I mean,
Genesis specialized in certain things. It specialized at first in the RPG market. And
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Exactly. And the side-scrolling shooters, I think, there's no shooters on Genesis is like peak.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is what it is. I can't really. And then it was not a PG system.
One of the first games I played with blood.
Yes, Mortal Kombat.
No,
you had the blood code, of course.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
You're talking about X-Mutants. X-Mutants, even before Splatterhouse. There was a game called X-Mutants, and they would literally blow up and explode in this blood curdling. It's a good game.
I don't remember it exactly. I need to look at it.
It was a launch title.
I still don't remember it. I actually had because the first time
I got that.
Genesis,
it came with that and Mario Lemieux hockey.
See, my Genesis came with Ultra Beast. That was the Genesis I got.
So you got the second model.
That was the second model?
The second. There were three different. So the original Genesis the original Genesis came with no games.
Right.
Okay, and that's the one I ended up getting because
the third model of Genesis is the one that looks like the modern Genesis, not like that one.
No.
So I'm not talking about models. I'm talking about the releases.
Yeah,
so
the third release is the new looking one, isn't it?
No, the third release came with Sonic. The fourth release.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Mine came with Sonic 2.
Yeah, you got
part of that same.
He got the newer Genesis console.
Yeah, I got the
smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, okay, so then you're right. Okay, so I didn't. Okay, so the first console didn't come. The first Genesis didn't come with any games. Then there was Ultra Beast that came with it. Then Sonic, and then they made the new Sega, and that's when Sonic 2 came out.
Yeah, and then there was the Genesis 3, which was absolute garbage, which is not here.
That little tiny system.
And that's the one that came with Vector Man.
Yeah. To me, this is pointless.
Absolutely.
I would even put this down here.
I'm down.
Yeah, I don't care.
There's no point to this one. And 64.
That's a AAA for me.
Either ahead or behind the Game Boy, the normal Game Boy.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Let's put it ahead just to make Putty happy.
But Putty's not even a Nintendo 64 guy.
Yeah,
this is the original release of the PS3.
Well,
so this is the one that was backwards compatible
with the PS2,
and had slots for SD cards.
So here's what I'm going to put out there. All right, you ready for me to put these out there? I don't care what version of PS3 you're saying. To me, they're all shit. It's one of the worst consoles that's come out in the last 30 years. And I would put both of them in gift for grandma.
Okay, let's do it.
I genuinely, I know
Why do
they
I-
have good games, but they don't.
Why do I have a feeling your brother's gonna be pissed about this?
But to me, he'll tell you the worst PlayStation is the PS3 out of the 5.
Oh, I agree. I was the same way. I thought it was the worst one.
It didn't in any way, especially when you saw what Xbox 360 was doing.
Mhm.
You're like, what is this system?
The funny thing was
The only
have
thing
a
the
PS3.
the PS3 that had going
original.
for it was online play at the time was free.
And
whereas
it had wicked games. Put it
And
at
see,
the
it's
top.
fun-
It has to be at the top of gift from grandma. At the
No,
top.
no, but
Let's
the other
put
one.
the-
The
yeah.
other one.
The
No,
other
no,
one,
the
yeah.
other-
Put both of them.
Yeah,
Put both of them.
no, I'm with that one because that one took away the PS2 backwards compatibility.
All right, obsolete. Make this one obsolete.
Okay,
top.
top obsolete. There we go. This is obsolete as well. Top obsolete. They improved on the Red Ring of Death, but there was no
Yeah.
point.
That's fair.
I'd put this is the OG launch Xbox One. I would put this in obsolete because this killed Xbox for a while. This is the one that
I would put it at the bottom of gift for grandma, but I totally agree with what you said.
yeah.
This was
Okay,
just like a
I'm good with
PS3
that.
thing.
Only because of the fact that people were complaining about always online, the Kinect that nobody really wanted,
Yeah.
which essentially cloud gaming, which essentially now is what we're doing anyway.
Where all they advertised to us was what it could do on the TV, change your
Yeah.
TV channels. So this is a good point. Now to bring this all the way back full circle for the arguments with Putty that we had for like the best part of this video. This is the best video we've ever made. This
I don't
is
know, the video where we do the
this
impressions
is
is
an
pretty good.
example where a new console came out and it did not push the limits. It did new things that were different, that were good.
Well, see,
But-
here's a prime example of that. This came with the Kinect. Okay, we already had the Kinect on the 360. Remember?
Exactly.
And it didn't do well.
Well, no, I agree with you. But the thing is, Kinect was trying to do what we did. You know what I mean? So
Listen,
it's like
all you have to know is if you ever played an Xbox One, and I'm an Xbox guy, and then played a PS4, you knew the differences like right
of
away.
course, 100%.
Oh, and I just realized that this is where is it? This is the OG Xbox One, or this is the Xbox One, and this is the Project Scorpio. So this is just this without the Kinect.
I'm just gonna say this right now. It's just
So
such a weird
because
thing.
if that's the
Xbox-
case, I'm moving it here.
No, I'm moving ahead of the PSPs.
Okay.
But
Because
like I said-
this was essentially this without the Kinect.
I'm just saying. Hopefully, Microsoft learns how to count. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
But we'll get to it when we get to it. Nintendo DS. This is a gift from grandma.
Are we almost there, Dad? This one, no, this is obsolete. This did not better the last console.
There?
Yeah, on me.
Okay. 3DS.
Okay,
This
this
was
is
more
where
of
we're
a-
differentiating, baby, because I fucking love this system.
Yeah,
See,
me too.
this was probably this is the favorite one of all the handhelds.
Okay, put it ahead of the advanced one, not ahead of Switch.
No, I'd say right here.
I genuinely, and the 3D capability is really cool. I'm not gonna lie, I
Mhm.
never use it, but if you do use it, it's actually really good.
Oh my God,
just-
playing Bravely Default on this thing was
Yeah. Like there's so many good games. It's so powerful for a handheld console. It has
Because-
connection to the internet. It has all these where it's like AR technology where you can interact with like the environment around you.
Yeah, like there was a game where you had to actually leave the DS out in the sun to charge your power, like in a game.
Yeah,
Like,
you can take pictures. It has a camera. You take pictures of people's faces and you put their faces on the enemy and then you kill the enemy.
there was
Well,
I'll
well,
never
I will
forget
say-
though. Like I don't know if you guys seen the game Octopath Traveler.
No, but I heard of it.
Okay, so but you know that art style? Think about take Bravely Default and add that 3D depth and that bit with Octopath but like take the art style of Octopath Traveler but add that depth of field in 3D. That's what Bravely Default was.
That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
I also want to bring up one thing, and this is not me wanting to change anything, but I just want to bring this up. There's something that a lot of people didn't know with Vita. Vita also had augmented reality thing where I can play. It was a Capcom versus Namco or something like that. And I remember I can literally make my own levels where I can like actually have like stuff in the background and then actually play the game with those background levels and it would follow along with the walls and everything. But then it also had these cards that came with it that were like these augmented reality where you put the cards out and they had these symbols and then you would actually scan the Vita over it and it would actually bring up creatures on those cards where you
I
can
think the
actually
Vita
like, play
also
games.
had that touchpad in the back.
Oh no, yeah, it did. So what happens was you would actually get to, like, for example, when I play Killzone, I would use the top shoulder buttons, but then I would use the back touch screen as extra buttons. So my point is, thing, a lot of people, I'm not wanting to push Vita up, but Vita, man,
You know what? I can move it to the top of gift from grandma.
Oh, appreciate
gifts from
that.
grandmas are good. The gift from grandma section, I need to reiterate this. It's not that they're bad consoles. It's she bought you the one you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
But then realized, oh wow, this is actually fun.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is fine.
Oh, this should be the lowest.
We can throw that.
Lowest low.
Thank you.
Okay. This is the Project Scorpio, so I'm going to put the Project Scorpio back where it was.
I want to go ahead and just reiterate here before we go continue. We just threw that in there, but no one got to explain. So let's just have fun explaining how horrible this is. For those that are not watching, that right there is the Virtual Boy. That is the most eye-straining console you'll ever meet. It has a controller that I don't know what the hell. It feels like you're holding two.
It's like a really shitty GameCube controller.
Yeah,
it's really bad. A bad controller. Then you can, first off, you look at it and you go, oh, so you can probably put that on your eyes. No, you had to keep it on the table and then stick your head in front of it. The lights in there were like sticking lasers in your eyes.
It's infrared. You're literally looking into infrared lights.
Like when it comes to all these consoles, I know we agree. There's also another Virtual Boy down there, which just makes me angry that it's on there twice. But my point, the whole thing is this, which I'm starting to realize every console was repeated on there twice.
Yeah, everything's on there twice.
Yeah. The only thing is they put this slightly ahead of the.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think we might have moved that by accident.
But just I point out to everyone, the reason why I put Virtual Boy down there is because you have to go look up how bad this console is just to understand why we threw it down there so quickly. Because if you experience it, you realize this is
just go watch a video on it. Putty's gonna do a video. We're gonna buy him a Virtual Boy just so he can do it.
God, you want me to kill myself, huh?
This is the last console on the list. This is a console that
there's one more.
Where?
The 3DS.
We already did the 3DS. It's up here.
That 3DS, I think, is the XL.
So is that one. It's the exact. Look, it's the exact same image.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So this is the last console on the list.
This one. Now, I am not going to pull
tell
a
us
Putty.
how you feel.
I love this console.
I did too.
When it came out for me, I went with the Sega Saturn over the PlayStation. Just because I was such a huge Sega fanboy. I've owned every Sega console up in this.
All the clamshells.
I have I have all those large jewel cases. I have about maybe 60, 70 games, all still in their original packaging. But I can't argue for the fact that it had a memory card. This was the first one with a memory card. The 4 megabyte expansion in the back.
Had your Dragoon.
That has nothing to do with it. I hated that game. But
really,
Fighter.
But of course,
this was also like with the Xbox, like you could put your own music in it. This had CDs. It was a music.
You can play music. Sorry, I was gonna say you could play music on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And fun fact about the Sega Saturn CDs, game CDs, you can actually put it in a regular CD player and listen to the soundtrack of the games.
Yep. But PlayStation did that as well.
But for me, unfortunately, because of what it did, and I can't put it high. I'd put it AAA, but not like high.
I think for me, and I didn't even play it as much as you guys, so Putty can come in after because I think he's going to be the balancer of this. Maybe I would put this at the top of. I will put this ahead of the Game Gear.
Okay.
Because I played it, I like a lot of stuff about it, but I just think it's a little bit behind. It's not only it is advanced, but it's also behind. If that makes any sense.
Can we do this?
I still haven't decided. Here's my problem. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this, and thing is like So, for example, Game Gear drained batteries, but I freaking love that console.
But everything up here
Okay, no, hold on. Let's
is
hear-
revolutionary. This was not
Let him
Let him
revolutionary.
argue this with the Game Gear.
Okay. The thing is this is exactly why I'm agreeing. I don't want it in AAA. I'm like you, JD. I freaking love this console because I love the games. I was so excited to get it. I thought I was getting something stellar, but then I was kind of let down because I had the Sega CD, the Sega 32X. I had all those attachments to the Sega Genesis. So going to the Sega Saturn felt like it should be great. And to me, it felt like it was great. But then, you know, comparatively looking at it now, it wasn't as good as I was just fanboying over it. You know what I mean? That being said, here's where I have a problem. Putting this in front of GameCube and Game Gear is where I have a problem. Because here's the thing, I am a Sega fanboy.
I know, but this started my love of JRPGs.
I know. See, I don't know. This is hard. Those three right there, the memorable, are really great.
I
in
mean,
my
I'm
eyes.
not gonna bullshit you. Putty made some really good points there. I maybe it's like definitely less than the Game Gear. I mean, not Game Gear, GameCube. I think.
So I'll be happy with that.
I can deal with that too, yeah.
All right, that's the list, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the hardest list that we've ever done. This is arguably going to be the best video you're ever going to watch.
But see, I also want to know, guys, looking at this list and you see these games, what console on here would you say? Oh, and understand,
Everybody's going to say
because-
PS5, Putty.
I know, but just listen what I'm saying. Just listen what I'm saying. I'm telling all viewers, just sit back and think about your consoles you played all over your generation, no matter how old or younger you are. If you played some old consoles, think about those times when you played that console. Even if it wasn't your generation, you go, oh, this is great. This has got great games on it. In that moment, tell us below in the comments what was yours, but be honest, not just by favoritism, but by quality, guys. We want to know what you guys think in the comments below.
Everybody's just going to say
I
PS5.
have one last minute request.
Sure.
The Switch and the 3DS ahead of the Xbox.
No.
That's uncalled for. That's
Okay.
racism.
If you're saying that, let's meet in the middle.
All right, deal.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and let Putty know what his favorite console is. Not yours, his. Okay, bye.